just say something about that? The basses came in wrong. Whose fault was it?
Probably.
Always. Always. If ever there's a mistake in the orchestra, it's always the conductor's fault. If you live that way, incidentally, it's not a bad way of living your entire life. And there's a chapter in our book called The Art of Possibility called Being the Board. It's the last chapter, it's the graduate class, in which instead of playing a game with black and white pieces on a board like chess or drafts, you are the board on which the game is played. So you're responsible for everything. Right? So that's a good message for conductors to live, because if players in an orchestra feel that the responsibility is being taken by the conductor, they can relax and start enjoying life. And it's usually true, because if you're really attentive to what the basses need with their pizzicatos, they won't make those mistakes. All right, so that's the first thing. You're a wonderful conductor, so we don't have to worry about that. You know your business. What I want to suggest to you as a younger colleague, whatever mood you are suggesting through your body language is going to be translated into the players. And so what I'm getting from this, and it's understandable because you're standing in front of an audience and, you know, this whole idea of a class and, you know, all of that. But actually what matters is Mahler's music and nothing else, nothing else. So your whatever anxiety or natural nerves and so on is irrelevant to the moment. The moment is what this piece is about. And it's an interesting history, and I don't want to lecture here, I just want to share. When I was young and starting out, this piece was played at an extremely slow tempo by everybody. And how slow it was in some cases is, Alfonso and I were listening, maybe we'll play in a little while a couple of recordings, Bernstein's recording, Scherchen's recording of the Adagietto takes 15 minutes. Mengelberg's performance, and Mengelberg was a friend and close associate of Mahler, it took 7 minutes, so it's twice as fast. So you know that, and you're not playing it at the very slow tempo, which is great. But the question is, what is the emotion that is being brought out here? What do you think it's about?
Tenderness.
Yeah.
Sweetness.
Yeah.
The sweet kind of, well, we start in a sweet love space. And then, of course, it builds from there and everything.
Yeah. It's so interesting that you think of it as being about love, and you're right, but we only know that because Mengelberg actually told, in his score, he wrote, Mahler sent this to Alma, that was his girlfriend, they weren't married yet, and he sent it as a message. And Alma was a musician, so she didn't need to hear a recording. She said, oh my God, he loves me. Wow, he really loves me? That much he loves me? Oh my God, I better go to him. That was how they communicated, through music. So somehow, we know this was a message of Mahler to this beautiful, incredibly vivacious, intelligent, captivating young woman who everybody in Vienna was excited about, right? And he had just met her, and of course he was about to marry her.
Right.
This was his love letter.
Right.
So you don't look like somebody who's just fallen in love with somebody. You look as though you're worried about whether they're going to play together. And that worry permeates the whole group. So can you start it again and do it with, and of course the beginning has no rubato in it, the beginning, because there's nothing happening. It's just F major. Then the rubato starts to happen. There is some, they won't know where to play unless you really give them a clear pom, like that. Because there are 8 of them.
Yes.
Right? All right, good. Once again. Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it, about that? Because he has lines on each note, espressivo, crescendo from pianissimo, and then subito pianissimo, all on 3 notes. So that's going to take, all of that information has to be conveyed. They'll do something on their own, but the question is, can you get more out of them? And again, in our orchestra, we have 42 violins. You know, there are 20 people doing it. It's not just these 2 wonderful musicians, it's a whole lot of them. So give your sense the feeling that this is incredibly special, these first 3 notes. Do it again. Question is, how much do you need for that first note? Just play it. That's actually all you need, is just... That's all you need. And she's playing about mezzo forte, and he marks it pianissimo. So can you get her to play softer just by the way you conduct her? Just do it again. You play it, you can do. So, no, even that, the least amount of gesture, like this. 1, 2, 3. Can you get excited about those notes? Just do it again. Once again. First note. 2. Here it comes. Beautiful. Good, great. I have 2 things to say to you, Joe, and I say it as a colleague. Remember I talked to Vartan about this music gives us permission to be more expressive, live life more fully, more engaged with all the emotions. I say the same to you, that this music seeks the deepest recesses of the soul and asks us to go there with Mahler. And you're a gifted conductor, so there's no question about that, and you're going to go on a career. I would ask you to think about how much your body language, your face, your whole being is conveying to the players your love of the music and your understanding of what the message of this music, and you want to convey it and give it to these players who are all extraordinary. And I ask you to do that more than you've ever done it before, because the training of a conductor is so cold. You know, you have to learn the score, you have to learn the clefs, you have to learn the instruments, you have to learn orchestration, you have to learn stick technique, you have to, you know, do all this. Yeah, and it's so much work, and it's so much study, and it's so much knowledge, and you have to pass exams, and you have to, you know, and in the end, it's not about that at all. It's not about that. Goes inside. What comes out for them is your face, right? That's what comes out. That's what they see. They don't know anything what knowledge is there in you. And you know, this is a private conversation between two colleagues. I mean, you're a colleague. You're not a student. You're a colleague, and you've spent an enormous amount of your life accumulating knowledge and accomplishment and expertise. I would like you to put it all away and forget about that, because they're not interested in what you know. They are interested in what you feel. And that has got to come out in every body gesture. And you can't practice it because you don't have an orchestra at home. So you sit with the score and you just have that. And then you start imagining the sound, the great players, the great orchestras, the great quartets, the great sound of a string group. And then you pull out of them, because they don't know what you know. The only point of being a conductor is that you have something to offer that they don't have on their own. And actually it's rather shocking to realize how much they can do on their own. Let me show you. Just start. Pretty bad news, isn't it? Yes. You know, it's good for conductors to realize how good orchestras are without them. And then the question is, what can you offer them that they don't know? And then you start to come in. All right, so let's start. You say. Can I share one, Olivia, in the Chopin, were you inside, did you hear the Chopin? What we were doing in the rubato is taking time on a certain note, stretching the elastic, and then letting the elastic go so that it goes back into tempo. So we just try that again. 1, 2. They can't do that on their own. Right. And it'll be different every time, you understand? It'll be different every time. But it asks of us the deepest understanding, yes, of the harmony, of the shape, of the phrase length, and deep down what it means and what it's about. So we bring to our craft what we know about love and about sadness, because Mahler couldn't just be cheerful, like Schubert. Even the most cheerful music is sad underneath, right? So the question is, and it's a whole world that we are exposed to in our development as conductors, to the people we've heard, the experiences we've had. You know, my teacher was a great cellist, Casado, and one day he said to us in exasperation, you people don't understand, he said. You can't play great music till your heart has been broken. Right? Because we had two easy lives. We had lovely lives. We were living in Florence, and the peaches were delicious, and the sun was always shining, and we had a great life. But he said, how can you play great music until your heart has been broken? So I ask you, has your heart been broken? Because if it hasn't, I would recommend you. So try, see what you can. They'll give you anything you want. That's the amazing thing. They'll give you anything. They won't resist you. But you notice they don't need much policing. And you need to get, the harpists are trained to play very metronomically. That's how harpists are trained. I always say, this is like a piano. He's writing piano music. This it's a piano accompaniment in the harp. It's not don, 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 but put the pedal down. I mean the piano pedal down. Should we try that again from the beginning? That's true. That some of the viola players will be confused. Be very precise about that opening. But it can be, this is so soft. No doubt. Right. This is in the way of your heart. This is in the way. Can you put it down? Sure. Right. And don't conduct. Don't ever conduct. All right. Just give the heart. All right. Do once again. That's better. I still don't know what you're saying on your face. What's he saying? He's saying, just do your heartbeat and then play. He says, I love you, darling. And then he says, don't ever leave. And now he says, we're going to be so happy. But maybe not. Please don't. Life is so full of suffering. so joy. Now the cellos. I love this guy, he's great. Sing like Jacqueline Dupre. Oh, so beautiful. Aren't they great? You know, part of being a conductor is realizing how great your musicians are. Tell them how great they are all the time. Every time you conduct, you're great, that's beautiful, more, I love it. Give them your joy, your love, your sense of the possibility of life. And it's a great thing for you to develop, because you've reached a stage, you know, I said 16 was a great age. You're end of 20?
Well, close to 30.
Right, that's what I mean, yeah. End of 20. One of the great turning points in a person's life. 30, everything changes. Because you know, you have family and responsibilities and jobs and taxes and all that. And it could so easily go downhill from here. I'm 85, I'm just getting going. Right? I'm excited at every moment about all the things that are opening up. Like this, we've never done this before in the class. The first time we've ever had an orchestra in the class. It's very exciting. And this great cellist who I've never seen in my life. Yeah, these guys, I know these fellows. But this is great, it's beautiful. But your joy, your enthusiasm, do you know what enthusiasm means? Do you know the word?
I don't know the root, but
You know what the word
I know, of course, what the word means, yes.
Yes, but do you know what it comes from? Entheo is God.
Yes.
Right? Full of God, enthusiasm. Now, you don't have to believe in God. I mean, he's useful for some people. But, but being full of God, I call it possibility, being full of possibility. It has to emanate from every part of you. They want your enthusiasm, perhaps more than anything else, more than your knowledge, more than your expertise. They want that enthusiasm. So if this could be a turning point for you as you go into your 30s and you're faced with the responsibilities that 30-year-olds have and beyond, don't lose sight of this. This is the child in all of us. That they require. You know, this fellow travels 5 hours each way to play in the youth orchestra on Saturdays with his mom. 3 cheers for his mom. 5 hours in the car to come and 5 hours to go back. That's our responsibility. Every time we conduct, I have more to say to you about that than all the information about different ways of doing this music. It's about love. It's about communication. It's about joy. You know, in that sense, we're like priests. Priests can't afford to be in a bad mood. You know, Sunday comes along, I don't feel like it. You have to feel like it. They depend on you, right? It's huge. And even when you walk in the room, they know what mood you're in. You can change the mood of a whole orchestra just by walking on the stage. Did you know that? Yeah, you just, by walking on stage, they feel, oh, this is going to be great. You know, eyes alive, body alive. I'd love to go on, but it's so sad. We're going to do another session. This is great. I mean, I would love you to make this sort of front and center of your life, because the stick technique actually gets in the way. You could do this without a stick. Let's do it once from the beginning, and we're just going to conduct together and bring out everything that's in these beautiful musicians. Now. beautiful. Simple fall. Now turn to the cellos with love. Love. Do you love them? Inside every cellist is a Yo-Yo Ma or a Jacqueline Dupre. Beautiful slide. Not aggressive, tender. One, two, three. Keep in four. Don't be a policeman, be a lover. Magic, magic, magic. Ah, so beautiful. So. Beautiful. Bravo, bravo, bravo. You revealed some really intense emotion during that climax. If I were Alma, I'd be a little worried. I think, is this guy really going to treat me well? It was really, it was aggressive. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's just an ebullience of emotion, of warmth, of love, so intense that it's full of joy. So whatever you're thinking is going to come out in their playing. Right. And if you do this at them, first of all, they're going to be offended actually by being bludgeoned. Mm-hmm. It's never a good gesture, but think about what this music is really. It's a love letter. But it was beautiful, and you're great. You're a wonderful conductor. And I think that if this has done anything, this come in, thank you for coming, because this is an awkward situation in a way. You're facing into the audience. Normally we have our back to the audience, and so you put yourself out to do that, and we're grateful for that. And I think we all want you to be more alive to, more available to the emotions of the music. We know that you're going to take care of the business of people playing together. We know that. But do we want to find out what's in your heart? And that's the question. And you know that an orchestra can tell from the very first moment. I once asked an orchestra player, how long does it take before you make up your mind that you're going to like or dislike a conductor? And he said 5 seconds before they conduct. Right. So just the whole being. That's, you can't work on that. You can't practice. I'm going to practice my being. No. It's nothing to do with dress or behavior. It's to do with what's in your heart. How do you feel? How do you approach the world? Do you give people an A? Like, I've never met this guy. You know, he's from another orchestra. Gosh, they're lucky to have him. You know, he's great. And I recognize that beauty and that desire for beauty in all the players. And you know, the member of the Philharmonia said to me, something happens when you come to conductors. I don't know what it is, but it's different. What it is that I give every single player the grade A, right? A. And they don't lose it. It's not a conditional thing. See how you do. No, it's really unconditional. If they make a mistake, how fascinating! You know, and that creates a sense of trust and confidence and love and appreciation. And it's worth traveling to appreciate that, right? Thank you for coming. Beautiful, beautiful. I put a white sheet of paper on the stand of every musician in every orchestra that I conduct, and it's blank. And I say, please, tell me something that you feel, that you've experienced, that you notice, that you want to improve or whatever. Just sign it so we can go on with the conversation. And I'm going to tell you what their white sheets are saying. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your expertise. And please be inside the music and trust us. That's the message that I feel, because they love music deeply, and they want you to give them that love. So thank you for coming.